straightaway?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ridden on a track like this?
No, not on this track. I rode in Valencia. I did like 179 on the straightaway.
Oh my gosh, what was that like?
Scared shitless. Never got out of third gear.
Jordan doesn't ride competitively, but he's more than just a fan. In 2004, less than a year after playing in his final NBA game, he formed Michael Jordan Motorsports. He's the owner of the Jordan Suzuki team and the government-sponsored National Guard team.
I started riding dirt bikes when I was like 7, 8 years old, way back when.
Yeah?
I kind of got into it, and obviously I couldn't ride because of my contract stuff.
Right.
But as soon as that was over with, I got back into it, and here I am at a racetrack. I love it.
A 6-time world champion with the Chicago Bulls, Jordan got back on his beloved bikes shortly after retiring for good in 2003. One night, while riding through the Chicago streets, Jordan crossed paths with Noble Williams, an off-duty police officer, and a group of riders at this downtown gas station.
I'm looking like this is not right. Something's not right with this picture. The gear was just all, the whole thing was just all wrong. He had come up in a Jordan shirt and jogging pants and some Air Jordan shoes.
When I saw the guys, I had a T-shirt and I did have a helmet on, I think.
The gloves he had on were like the weightlifting gloves. They had the fingers cut off the front. No, it was funny, dude. I mean, when I saw that, I was cracking up.
Those guys said, you gotta be crazy. You know, you need to get some equipment. If it wasn't for those guys, obviously, I could have got myself injured, and I would have never been in this sport.
The next day, Jordan bought the appropriate riding gear. From late evening until dawn, he and the riders from the gas station crisscrossed the streets of Chicago.
At first, it was scary because some of the speeds that I was going were not quite safe.
And how fast?
I think on one straightaway we got up to like 157. You know, now thinking about it, it must have been nuts.
From the Chicago streets to closed-course racetracks, Jordan immersed himself in the sport. In the summer of 2006, he sharpened his skills at the Audubon racetrack, an hour outside the city.
I expected a novice, careful, cautious, mellow rider. And as I was following him, he'd run off the edge of the track through grass, bouncing all over the place, spraying dirt everywhere. I'm just like, wow, this guy's aggressive.
I fell off in the Audubon all the time. I mean, but that was, to me, that was learning. I was still going through the process of learning what it takes to ride the bike, and I tore up quite a few bikes.
You daredevil?
Somewhat. You know, I like popping wheelies. I like doing crazy stuff, but I haven't done it in a while, you know. So I've kind of gotten over that initial stage of doing things like that.
Today, Jordan focuses on ownership rather than riding. He attends roughly half of the 19 races that make up his team's schedule.
What do you do down here, like, before the race? What's your, you know, how much input do you have into what goes on?
Just inspirational to the guys. Hey, look, you know, I haven't seen him in a while. First time I seen him this year. Spend time with him, but then I try to understand what's happening with the bikes because I know a little bit about it, you know, and I just educate myself about the sport.
As the main attraction at any race he attends, Jordan tries not to be a distraction. He keeps a low profile at the track, allowing the cameras to focus on his team.
What are the final management decisions that you put your stamp on with this team?
The budget, somewhat the rider. I just give my certain characteristics about what I'm looking for in terms of a rider and his dedication to the sport. And I think that's correlation to what I did as a basketball player.
And financially, what do you get from your involvement with the team?
Nothing, not a dime. You know, everything I've done thus far is it's been out of my pocket. You know, we've been able to utilize some sponsorships, but in terms of what I make, nothing.
Of the team's $5 million budget, Jordan contributes approximately $1 million through his Jordan Nike label. Despite having more resources than comparable teams, after 93 Superbike races since 2005, Michael Jordan Motorsports had 0 wins.
How long did you think it would take to get your first win?
Knowing me, I wanted to win the first year, but I knew, mechanically I didn't have the right equipment to win. But that doesn't mean I don't hope for some type of win.
The team that was winning, Suzuki's own factory-backed team, Yoshimura Suzuki.
The Yoshimura Suzukis finish 1, 2, and 3. A complete sweep of the podium.
Beginning in 2000, the factory team won 10 consecutive championships, at one point winning 53 straight races.
What was it that kept your team off of the podium?
Well, I felt like it was an unfair playing ground, when the manufacturers were winning every single race. We didn't have the parts. Obviously, we didn't have the technology. We had no chance of winning.
He's Michael Jordan. He's got pride. How dare you stop me from winning a race if I put all this money behind it?
Seeking top-of-the-line engine parts, Jordan approached Suzuki to buy better equipment.
When we negotiated with Suzuki, we asked, well, can we get some aftermarket parts or kits or things that's going to put us up in the top? And, they promised us that we would get some of the stuff, and we got none of the stuff. So, that's one of the disadvantages of someone not really, being in the industry. We didn't have the leverage to negotiate. I just wanted to get to the front. What did it cost me, and we never really could get those parts.
I had seen a number of businessmen come into the sport and get frustrated pretty quick. I would have thought that he would have been a 1 or 2 year guy, but he's been steadfast in his commitment here. That's well respected.
In 2009, rule changes were made that tightly regulated the suspension, tires, and engines that teams were able to use, essentially leveling the playing field. Jordan's team went from 1 top 3 finish in '08 to 9 the following year.
I am a competitor to the end, and I will fight till I get up front and compete up front on the same level as everybody else, and may the best rider win.
It took Michael Jordan, the player, 7 years to win his first NBA title. Now in his 7th year as a motorcycle team owner, Jordan was still looking for his first Superbike win. On the final lap, Jordan's National Guard team moved into first place.
Looks like we're going to have a new leader. Zemke out front. Can he get a win for the Jordan Motorsports crew?
Come on.
Can anybody catch Zemke? Coming to the line at Daytona. Jake Zemke's going to win the season-opening American Superbike race. Gives Michael Jordan Motorsports their first victory.
Celebrating from above, Jordan chose to save the spotlight for his team.
So what's it like to get your first win?
I wish I could go down there, but I can't. I'm happy for everybody. They did a good job. They running. They know we're getting strong. They running now, huh? I love it.
You're not going to stop me from winning. I'm a